Welcome to Mexico Unexplained, where we will explore the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. This series presents information based partly on theory and conjecture. The podcaster's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the subjects we will examine. Here is your host, Robert Bitto.
Welcome, and muy bienvenidos to episode number 299 of Mexico Unexplained, where we examine the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. I'm your host, Robert Bitto. On the morning of August 4th, 2009, television viewers in the Mexican city of Monterrey were shocked and puzzled by a segment on the local news about an event from the previous night that took place outside an upscale Monterrey hotel called the Fiesta Inn. The news clip shows a very distraught young woman who was very tall and very thin and wearing a ripped shirt which read "Yum Yum." The woman was ranting and walking around erratically. Some passers-by took video footage that made it on the local morning news. One does not need to be familiar with the Spanish language to feel this young woman's confusion, desperation, and disappointment. Here is a clip. Following is a transcript of what the young woman was saying from the longest of the few video recordings available. The young woman begins, quote, "I wanted my freedom. Monterrey freed me, but it cost me a lot of work. I was in Mexico City for a whole year and 4 months. All this began in mid-2001. I barely remember. They were young and powerful, and they killed them. I've been knocking on doors. What I wanted was my freedom. I want my freedom. Carlos Slim knew about this. I want my freedom. It hurts my soul that they took him away." End quote. Police then arrived and began to approach the distraught young woman. She continued, quote, "Leave me alone. They have already taken me to the police station, and they have told me what they knew, nothing. They took me to the general hospital." End quote. The woman then pointed at an officer. She continued yelling, quote, You were there. Go get you killed Mourinho. They told me who did. They killed the Queen of England, the Queen of Germany. Did they kill the princesses and Mickey Mouse? It was also him. What? Nothing is going to come here. The people where you come from are crazy. They killed a lot of people. Death to that kind of human. Go away. They ate humans. Disgusting. They ate humans. I wasn't aware of anything. Of the murders, yes, but they are humans. Humans. They smell like human flesh. End quote. A stout female police officer with pulled back mustard-colored hair then approached the raving young woman. Quote, You are not going to take me until this is clarified. You already took me there. Let me go." End quote. The woman was shoved into a police vehicle, and then they took her away. Newscasters identified the young woman as Gabriela Rico Jimenez. When this story hit the internet, there were a lot of descriptions of Gabriela. Amateur journalists and fringe researchers heard about the incident and wanted to investigate further, starting off with getting background information on this mysterious ranting woman. Gabriela was described as a Mexican supermodel in the same league as Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, or Naomi Campbell. Bloggers at the time claimed that Gabriela had a career that took her to the fashion runways of Mexico City, Paris, and New York, and that she appeared on the cover of the Mexican version of Cosmopolitan magazine. An internet search in 2022 provides no evidence of Gabriela having any modeling career at all, and modern researchers cannot even come up with an agency or agent used for her supposedly many bookings. Some of the older blog posts and articles have references, but the links are either broken or the sites have been taken down. The modern internet's history of Gabriela strangely begins with her apparent breakdown in front of the Monterrey Hotel. Some researchers believe that any history Gabriela may have had before the famous incident was wiped clean off the internet. Since the event at the Fiesta Inn, many have analyzed the meanings behind what Gabriela was saying and have tried to provide context. Some believe that she had escaped some sort of human trafficking situation or that she was being held prisoner. As a supermodel, Gabriela may well have moved in elite Mexican social circles, and her life may have intersected with the lives of the most powerful and notorious in Mexico and beyond. She made some disturbing allegations and seems to have hit on many points that conspiracy theory investigators and fringe researchers like to get into: the British royal family, Disney with her reference to Mickey Mouse, and cannibalism practiced by the elites. Of special note was Gabriela's reference to powerful Mexicans. She affirms, quote, "Carlos Slim knew about this," end quote. At the time of this apparent breakdown, Carlos Slim was the richest man in the world. The uber-wealthy always have stories flying around about them, alleging many different things. There was an internet rumor going around that Gabriela may have been close to one of Carlos Slim's sons, and because she was close to him, she was privy to much inside information, some of which may have been compromising to the Slim family and their business interests. Gabriela also mentioned the name Mourinho in her public diatribe. Juan Camilo Mourinho Terrazo was a Mexican politician affiliated with the National Action Party, or PAN, and served as the Secretary of the Interior in the cabinet of President Felipe Calderón. He died in November 2008 when the small private plane he was traveling in crashed into rush hour traffic in Mexico City under very mysterious circumstances. There were 16 fatalities in this supposed accident. All 9 people on board the plane died, along with 7 people on the ground. Juan Camilo Mourinho was only 37 years old. As President Felipe Calderón's strongman, Secretary Mourinho had been leading a government campaign against Mexico's powerful drug cartels. Did Gabriela know something important about this mysterious death? A few days after local TV aired Gabriela's breakdown, and after the incident took on a life of its own on the internet, investigators were curious of Gabriela's fate. What happened to her? We know for sure that she was taken away by the police. A few weeks after Gabriela's disappearance, a statement appeared on the internet from someone claiming to have seen the supermodel at the local police station. The man, who was a lawyer visiting a client at the time, had this to say, translated from Spanish, quote, "At the time, I was in the same place where the girl was taken after being arrested. I was doing my practice in that place. I have a law degree. I still remember her face full of despair, fear, anguish. Being in front of her, I felt from her a very heavy and strange feeling. I approached her and asked her some questions, if she knew where she lived, etc. She told me that we were all already dead, that we all were, that we belonged to them, among other very strange things that simply left me paralyzed. After 20 minutes of being with her, some tall, well-dressed guys arrived. They practically forced me out of there. I asked why they were doing all of this if she was just a poor girl with a mental disorder. I asked where they were taking her. They told me that it was none of my business, that it was for my own good to leave her. When I walked away, they stopped me and asked me what she had told me. I only replied crazy things and ran away. The next day I went to the high officials of the ministry and told them about the subject and that I wanted information because the girl's family requested it. They just laughed and said, "Really? She doesn't exist. She never existed, and you don't work here." I got a chill and left. I left everything and I left Monterrey. I had a feeling that what happened those days and what that girl said were true. As I was able, I left everything and got out of there. She told me that in Monterrey, there is a kind of underground base where they live and regularly steal children for food and other things. Due to my profession, I do not dare to reveal my encounter. I have family and children who depend on me, and for logical and reputational reasons, I can't. I'd like to go out and spread it to the four winds, but society would label me crazy, even though I have the marks of the attack. My back is still a bit sore. There are nights when I just can't sleep. I have the same feeling, that same feeling when I saw them the first time. It's like a premonition. I appreciate that you don't judge me crazy for telling you that. Only I and those who were there with me at that time know what happened. Those are monsters. At least the one who attacked me was a monster. If he found me alone, he would have killed me." End quote. Is this anonymous internet source legitimate? What really happened to Gabriela after being detained by police? There is reference of her being taken to a psychiatric hospital in Colonia, Buenos Aires. This is where the story takes a twist, at least to the English-speaking bloggers and researchers. The mention of the words Buenos Aires has led some people to believe that Gabriela was taken to some sort of MK Ultra or Illuminati facility in Argentina, where she was disappeared. That branch of the story has grown into something with multiple rabbit holes. The only problem with this is that the English language researchers were unfamiliar with the word colonia used in a Mexican context. Colonia refers to a neighborhood or district of a city. In Monterrey, there is a neighborhood called Buenos Aires, and there is a mental hospital there. Another online researcher found a woman named Gabriela Rico Jimenez at a hospital in Ciudad Juarez, but the photo of the woman in Juarez is not that of the supermodel in question. Yet another online theory claims that Gabriela was taken across the U.S. border to Arizona and was shot on the property of a cement factory owned by Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim, whom Gabriela mentioned in her rant. There are many other theories about Gabriela's whereabouts that have since disappeared from the internet. Everything about this case is bizarre, and very little of it makes any sense. Was Gabriela merely an intoxicated or mentally ill individual with no history? Did she finally break free from her elite masters who were controlling her? Was this woman a delusional conspiracy theorist who cracked under the weight of her research? Was Gabriela the victim of some sort of secret mind control experiment? Did this young supermodel know and see too much? We may never know all there is to know about the mysterious disappearance of Gabriela Rico Jimenez. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained. Remember to like and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. Tell your friends by sharing these shows with others. Please go to our website, MexicoUnexplained.com, for references, illustrations, and for free access to transcripts of past shows. Please visit Amazon.com to purchase the books Mexico Unexplained and Mexican Monsters to get hard copies of the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. We appreciate your kind attention once again. Until next time, thank you and gracias.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained with host Robert Bitto. For show summary, relevant links and commentary, please check out our website at mexicounexplained.com. Like us on Facebook and be a part of the conversation. Adios and hasta la vista.